All right, how's it going? Geometry peeps. Think I'm gonna do a little video here because waiting on some storms to come through here tonight, so I might as well stay awake and do something kind of cool and mess with technology. So here we are, finding perimeter and then area of a rectangle if each block represents 1 inch, including units. Well, there we go. All right, so let's change this up. Let's go with like a little more heartier blue. All right, so might be a little too aggressive. All right, a little better. All right, here we go. First thing is if you're going to do perimeter area of really any shape, you need to start looking for your sides. And then one thing I'll always say is looking forward, you always want to be looking for right angles as well, because where a base finds a height, there will always be a right angle. Okay, so good thing is rectangles, of course, they're going to be automatic. Right angle, right angle, right angle. And so it doesn't really matter where you go on a rectangle. So if I look at this like that's my height and that's my base, it'll work because I got a right angle. So what you got to do is find your measurements. Now the good thing about this one is if you got horizontals and verticals, you don't need the distance formula and you don't need anything else. All you got to do is just count them up. So that means this is going to be from one, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this side is 6, which means this side is going to be 6. Going up, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the height of this thing is 4. All right, so here we go. Length of AB, we got 6. Length of CD, 6. BD is going to be 4. AC is going to be 4. And if you want to do the perimeter, you just add all that together. Remember, you want to add all your sides, which means you got 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4. And always just double check and make sure you got all your sides. You got a 4-sided shape, make sure you got 4 sides and put it together. 6 and 6 is 12, plus looks like 8. Looks like you're going to be right about 20. Now, if they do want you to include units, just remember each one of these blocks represents 1 inch, so add them all up means you basically have 20 inches in perimeter, going all the way around the shape. Now, if you want to do area, area is usually going to come with a formula. Here's where you really got to think about formula. And always know your shape and just make sure you got the right formula. So the formula for the area of a rectangle will always be, I'm just going to write it like this. Area will always equal to length times width, or just L times W, or base times height. As long as you have these two dimensions coming together at the right angle, it'll work. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the length 6 times the width, in this case is going to be the 4, and you're just going to let that rip, and you're going to get 24. Now think about your units. If this really is inches, and this is inches, what's inches times inches? So here's definitely where you get area, so make sure you end up with square units, so square inches. Alright, here we go. Number 2, change up the shape. Now you got a triangle. Find the perimeter area of the triangle ABC. Should all work, include units, and each block, of course, represents 1 centimeter. A little different. So here we go. Let's go for the easy ones first. Your vertical, horizontal, always going to be the easy. So from B to C, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that bottom side is going to be 6 centimeters. Left side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be 8 centimeters. Now, when you see diagonal sides, this is when you sort of have to do the most work. So when you see diagonal sides, you might have to use something else. So think about this. Since you got a definite vertical and horizontal, that's going to be a right angle, which means you got a right triangle. If you ever want the third side of a triangle, you can always use Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to go with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, let's change the color and throw that in there. All right, so remember, the only thing that really matters with this is that the hypotenuse has got to be the c, okay, in the formula. So here we go. Let's plug in 8 for that. Let's plug in 6 for this one. Now let's chunk this thing out. So 8 squared is 64. 6 squared is 36. Go and put the like terms together. It looks like you're going to be right a nice cool 100. And then if you want to undo the square, just remember you got to take the square root of both sides. So hang on, let me change this up. Let's go with the super thin orange. So to undo that square, you're going to take the square root of both sides. I thought that. Okay, so square root of 100 is going to be 10 is equal to C. Now you can answer your questions. So let's go over here. So let's do perimeter first. And remember, perimeter means you always want to add all your sides. So you got 3 sides, just make sure you add them all up. You got the 8, 6 that you had from before, now you got the 10. So add these together. So 8 and 6 is 14 plus 10 takes us up to 24. And these are all centimeters. So centimeters. So perimeter is done. Now let's do area. What's the formula for the area of a triangle? Usually most people go with 1/2 length times width or base times height, or you can do length times width divided by 2, different variations, definitely. So remember, if this is your right angle, that means one of these is going to be the base, the other one's going to be the height. So since this is down here, we'll go ahead and call you the base. We'll go ahead and call you the height. So let's plug it in. So area is going to equal to 1/2 length, which is 6, times the height, which is 8. All right, which means, let's bring it down. Since this is multiplication, you just go straight across. Half of 6 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Now notice, that's 24 and this is 24. But when you multiply, your units are going to be different. So what is centimeters times centimeters? Because right here you had 6 centimeters times 8 centimeters. And that's going to bring you up to centimeters squared or square centimeters, which is different than that. This is a linear. This is definitely two-dimensional space. But that is it. Now you're up to the big dog. So now you got a parallelogram, ABCD, so 4 sides. Good news is you got 2 horizontals. Let's go and do these. These are going to be the easy ones. Let's go back to red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Get these out of the way. These are centimeters. Since it's parallelogram, opposite sides should be parallel and congruent, so this one should be 12 centimeters. Let's check it. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, that works. So 2 sides down, we just got to get the diagonals. So now, with the diagonals, again, you can do the formula. You can do the distance formula, or since you're on the graph, you can just do the slope triangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight across, straight down, and I'm going to make a right triangle. I'm going to get these 2 measurements because they'll be easy, and then I can do the theorem, Pythagorean theorem, to get the distance. So I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared to get this length. But it's going to be the same length for the triangle as it is for your rectangle, or excuse me, your parallelogram. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this side is 5 units long. This side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you're thinking theorem, you're going to go 5 squared plus 7 squared equals hypotenuse squared. So that's 25. Oops. Don't make that mistake. Alright. 25 plus 7 squared is 49 equals c squared. Go ahead and put your like terms together. I'm going to reach for a calculator because it is late. So we're up to 74. Alright, so 74, oops, is equal to c squared. And now to undo the square, we're going to take the square root of both sides. So we want to do the square root of both sides. So square root of 74. Oops, wrong button. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a nice decimal. And I'm getting, my goodness, I'm writing all over the place. I'm getting 8.6 is equal to C. So this side is going to be 8.6 for the triangle and for the parallelogram. Now watch this. If this side ends up using the same measurements, we can take a shortcut. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And look at this. That right triangle had 75. This triangle has 75. So if you do the theorem, you're going to get the same answer. So we don't have to do that. So we save a little time. Now you got all four sides. And so now you can come over here and answer all your questions. So here we go. Do perimeter first. Perimeter should be add up all your sides. So we got an 8.6. I'm just going to go around the top. Let's do the right side. I'm going to do the bottom side. Make sure you got all four. We're going to add them all up. So we got 8.6 plus 12 plus 8.6 plus 12 equals, and I'm getting 41.2 for the perimeter. And if you're going with units, that means you're going 41.2 centimeters around. All right, let's do the area. Now, what is the formula for the area of a parallelogram? Well, it just so happens that parallelograms are going to be the same as rectangles. It's going to be length times width, or base times height. And I'm just going to go ahead and write this, base times height. And we're going to need a different color because this is going to be cool. All right, so everybody would agree the base is probably 12. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a 12 right there. Now what's the height? Now make sure on these parallelograms or any other diagonals, make sure you don't use 8.6 for your height because this is not a right angle. Remember, you always want a right angle. So even if you have to go outside your shape, you can find the height of this shape. So the height of the shape really is just 7. It goes up 7. There's your right angle. So you're going to plug 7 in right over here, and you're just going to let it rip. So 12 times 7, 70 plus, can't think, 7, yep, 84. And since you're going with units, centimeters times centimeters, this is going to be centimeters squared. All right, that is it.